Sixers Wolves, and it comes your way right here on MVC. This is our starting lineup tonight, not a new starting lineup for you. Bear, Minnesota in the gray and green tonight. Sixers in their City Edition whites. Daniels out to Randall. Randall had just come back from a 13-game absence when we saw the Timberwolves in Minnesota in early March. Good deflection and steal by Justin Edwards there.
Justin playing the denial, playing the passing lanes, coming up with that pass from Gobert.
And since then, Randall has rounded nicely into form. Again, Justin Edwards was unavailable because of a sprained ankle for the Sixers in that March contest. This is our big Frenchman, Gershon Yabusele. Shot clock winding down. Gershon sees it and hits the pretty turnaround.
Control all the while.
Gershon got the start in that March contest in Minnesota, had 18 points and 7 rebounds. His fellow Frenchman Rudy Gobert there, and Rudy has been playing much better on the season high with 21 Thursday in Brooklyn. And he's put up 20 plus in a couple of games the last week. Adem shoved by Gobert, no whistle. Gershon looking for 5 early. That one too strong. This is the veteran point guard, 18th year now in the NBA for the 37-year-old Mike Conley.
Coach Finch talked about Conley and how he has changed his organization's the feel around it because of his professionalism. The way he goes about conducting his business has been contagious to others in the organization.
Yeah, doing a nice job as Gershon takes it all the way to the cup, lays it up and in for 2. McDaniels and others. Here's Jaden McDaniels. Of course, his brother Jalen was a one-time Sixer a couple of years ago. Edwards with the Swats. And then the other Edwards with the corner 3. And I think this is where I tell you, higher NBA. 297 on the season. He's now pulled even with the guy who was in the 1 spot, Malik Beasley of the Detroit Pistons, who are also playing right now tonight. Good idea. Gershon was trying. Detail there. Butler spins it down to R. Edwards, who puts it up and in.
Good action, quick off the floor is Justin. He's got to get it quick up to the basket with guys like Gobert around.
Good start by Justin Edwards, a steal, a block, and a bucket. This is Anthony Edwards, off the mark on that 3-point attempt. Dem had 6 rebounds in addition to those 28 points Thursday. Jared Butler creating a nice little combo with Adem Bona. Keeps it himself that time.
That move finally got to a space on the floor, knew where the defender was in relation to the basket. Nice little knockdown from Jared.
Jared Butler had 14 points Thursday against Milwaukee. He's got 14 plus in 5 of the Sixers' last 6 games. Edwards, oh my goodness. Good. That is why he is one of the up-and-coming stars in the NBA. And R. Edwards, Justin answers right back.
That's the kind of stuff that he's capable of if you give him room to operate. Ridiculously athletic, my goodness.
You heard the oohs and ahs. There's a lot of Timberwolves and specifically Anthony Edwards fans in attendance. Not surprisingly, the touch pass there over to McDaniels. The net on this end is still sucked up in the rim. Let's see if they stop play or just wait for another shot to go through for the T-Wolves.
I'm old enough to remember that would be addressed right away.
It could be addressed right here. Anthony Edwards, he is the main reason.
Yeah, and Coach, enter the playoffs when your body is catching that second wind.
Especially because he played a career-high 50 minutes in that double overtime thriller of a win for Minnesota in Denver on Tuesday. Quentin Grimes surrounded out, and Lonnie Walker IV has been the season for Nick Nurse and the Sixers. One injury after another. Conley keeps it himself. The floater is strong. And Zabar Kuchi, Andy Nagy, and Evan Scott. So the first delay of game tonight, and first on the Timberwolves.
You didn't want to hear what Rudy had to say in any language.
Butler out to Bona. Turning the corner. Damn. I think he threw himself off a bit there. Lost the ball as he went up for it.
Yeah, I wonder if Randall had anything to do with that.
Randall draws the foul. Society 70. 215-339-7676. Randall splits the free throws. Bona in there for the rebounds. 11-9, Sixers in front. This is how Thursday's game started for the Timberwolves as well. Everyone expected them to be blowing out the Brooklyn Nets, and Brooklyn actually had the lead, similar to how the Sixers had the first quarter lead over Milwaukee. Grimes with the shot clock winding down, leaves that one short.
Defender all over him. In this case, McDaniels, no slouch as a defender either.
And that might might be almost an understatement.
Yeah.
He and Nikhil Alexander-Walker is going to come off the bench for Minnesota briefly, a couple of the best defenders in the NBA. Randall, no. Shot altered by Adem. And then gets it to go on the baseline because at this point, Adem has first quarter.
Yeah, he has to be selectively aggressive right now. He can't just go all out. He's got to play with a little bit of control, a little bit of poise.
Gave us the thumbs up over on the Sixers bench, so hoping to have him back in shortly. This is McDaniels, tied up by Lonnie Walker. Good hands by Lonnie. Here come the Sixers.
Yeah, McDaniels brought it down, and that's where Lonnie was able to get his hand on it.
Butler can't connect on that three. Sixers 1 for 5 now from beyond the arc. Here's the Villanova legend Dante DiVincenzo off the mark on his first shot attempt.
Good job of not fouling. Don't bail anybody out on drives like that one with DiVincenzo.
Ricky over to Gershon Yabusele, who was good from outside on Thursday. 4 for 9 in that loss to the Bucks. Still looking for his first three-pointer tonight. Now 0 for 2. Wolves aren't shooting much better. They're 1 for 5 from beyond. 4 of 13 from the floor area earlier in the first quarter.
On his side.
He was fourth with 5 minutes to go. Gershon behind the defense. Taken. McDaniels, the jump stop, and contributes $7.76 with an additional 7.6% in interest from NerdWallet for a chance to win that whole pot. Visit the website on your screen. Good to see Lonnie Walker available tonight. He left the game Thursday in the third quarter. Gershon can't connect from outside after stepping on a fan in the front row. It was listed as a heel contusion, and he didn't return in the fourth quarter. So good to see Lonnie here tonight. Edwards, the drive and kick. DiVincenzo from downtown.
They wanted to execute just that.
Butler to Castleton. Over to Lonnie Walker. And the Reading PA native hits from downtown.
Lonnie knew where he wanted to head with it right away. No hesitation getting it to him.
Edwards can't connect on the three. Around 4 minutes to play is brought to you by Toyota. Visit Toyota.com to find your 2025 RAV4 Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Butler, off front iron.
Him a little bit, came in, he kind of eased his way into the year, but now he seems to be hitting his stride.
He's 23 years old, spent a year at the University of Georgia, did Anthony Edwards. This is Julius Randle, spent a year at Kentucky on the NCAA game that's going on right now, since he's played right now record-wise with both the Clippers and the Memphis Grizzlies. All three of those teams are 45 and 32. Both the Clippers and Grizzlies are playing tonight. Minnesota in the 6th spot because they hold the tiebreaker over both of those teams. Castleton off the nice pass from Walker.
Castleton slipped behind him there. Nice finish.
DiVincenzo around and out from the other wing. But every game is important as Minnesota tries to avoid the play-in. Wants to get one of those top 6 spots. A two-man game here between Castleton and Walker. This time it's Cullen finding Lonnie for 3. Randall bodying his way in nicely on the baseline.
Yeah, if you allow him to go left all the way to the cup, he's going to be very effective. You've got to stop that penetration, especially to the strong hand.
Edwards back in the game. Good looking shot, just a little bit off as it rings out. Here's Naz Reid. 6th man of the year last season and picked up where it left off this year. A key piece of the T-Wolves' success.
Yeah, they seem to want to go at Justin a little bit here. Whoever he is covering for the last couple trips down, they've gone right at him, forcing him to defend.
That's a good way to slow down an offensive guy, make him work on the defensive ends. Grimes picked up his dribble, needs some help. Shot clock winding down. Edwards takes it away. Chivino's got to get it up. He does. But they're getting tonight for the Sixers. Jeff Downton and Alex Reese getting very close to the game limit allowed on those two-way contracts, so they are unavailable tonight as Reed goes back-to-back on the offensive ends.
Yeah, they went to Reed against Justin this time. Reed against a different defender. They don't seem to be deterred right now. Whoever you throw at him, especially the big body like Castleton.
Good move by Hood Chivino. Drops it off to Castleton, and Castleton hits from the baseline, so a good
53% from the field right now.
DiVincenzo on the reverse.
Too easy. a lot involved there offensively.
As you mentioned, though, the Sixers shooting, keeping them in this one. Good ball movement as well. Hood-Schifino went with the finger roll. I think that one was deflected. Randall spinning. Dangerous pass there from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but it makes it all the way across the court to DiVincenzo. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter. Randall with 5. A couple of former Knicks going toe-to-toe, and Quinton wins that battle. Castleton gets it to him.
Randall's slow with that release. Thought he had the shot earlier, but he was just kind of too deliberate.
Yeah, a lot of shots have looked a little bit awkward for both teams. A lot of guys in this first quarter. That time of the season, everybody's working through something. Final 5 seconds of this first quarter. Walker short on the step back. DiVincenzo heaves. 12 when it comes to points in the paint. Second chance points, 5-0 in Minnesota's direction, but otherwise pretty even across the board, and that's why we've got a 4-point game.
Well, we talked about their second chance opportunities as being one of their strengths.
So far, +5 are the Timberwolves in that category. Hood-Schifino, step back on the long 2, and Jerry Lin.
Really high arc on that shot, too. Nice soft touch.
21-year-old, spent a year at Indiana, started his NBA career with the Lakers. Alexander Walker off the window.
Since the beginning of this game, to attack via the dribble, trying to get to the basket. They continue to do that.
But Schifino at one wide left. Alexander Walker with a step, switches hands nicely, and lays it up.
The whole time where the defender was, Quinton trying to close him down.
Alexander Walker, huge in that Tuesday win over Schifino. The rebound off the T-Wolves miss. Edwards, the catch and shoots. Grimes the rebound. Quinton's looked a little out of sorts so far tonight. Let's see if he can settle in and find his rhythm. Edwards going at Gobert. Rudy blocks him. Bona picks it up, and he is blocked. Which is offense and defense combined in the NBA. That is why, again, they're holding down the 6th spot in the West. Gobert able to sneak that one up and in. Averaging just a shade under 12 points to go along with his 11 rebounds per game this season is Gobert. But Schifino, that one is short. Gobert the rebound. Wolves on a little 6-0 run to start this second quarter, trying to extend that here. Reed, Conley from behind the backboard, and Conley connects, so make it a quarter. And then the Wolves went on that 9-0 run, but Schifino turns it over. Wolves the only team to get to the free throw line so far. The Sixers haven't attempted any free throws, so I'd like to see them be a bit more aggressive on the offensive end. 9 points, 8 rebounds, and Nick Nurse and the Sixers say, yeah, we want him to be on the team for at least 10 more days. You see the free throw discrepancy there. Good hands by Bagley, deflected it, but it goes right back to the Wolves.
Well, the reason why they're shooting so many free throws is because what we touched on earlier, they're driving the basketball.
Yep.
That's the key. That puts pressure on the defender. Earlier, Gobert there.
Grimes, little hesitation dribble, is giving me a hard time. You guys, I'm trying to call a basketball game on the floor. Sixers will head out on a little 2-game road trip after this one tonight. Miami on Monday, Washington on Wednesday, before 2 home games to wrap up the regular season next weekend. This is Jalen Clark, can't connect. Rebound knocked out though to his teammates. So we've got Walker, Butler, Bagley, Yabusele, and Grimes, the 5 Sixers on the floor. Alexander Walker, no, Bagley the rebound. Grimes the drive and kick. Good fake from Walker.
Timberwolves defenders scrambling to get the shooters.
They are, despite some much better ball movement from the Sixers. Sixers haven't been able to get a shot off yet. Somebody's got to now. Shot clock about to expire. Rudy Gobert heads to the bench. So a little bit smaller lineup at the moment. DiVincenzo too strong. Walker with 6 already off the bench tonight. He had 6 total in the game at Minnesota in early March.
Good look.
Bagley off the fantastic pass from Gershon.
He knew when he was coming to the basketball, if he pulled his defender with him, that would leave an open man along the baseline, caught it and knew exactly what.
With the Delaware Bluecoats, and had his best game as a Sixer Tuesday up at Madison Square Garden. And Nick Nurse said before tonight's game, he would probably say, Marcus himself probably wouldn't say he's played great, but he's given great effort every time he's been out there. So we wanted to reward him and give him a few more games this season. Butler off the window.
Kept it in his right hand the whole time, away from the defender. Nice touch from Jared.
And just like that, a 6-0 Sixers run after the Wolves were on a 9-0 run of their own. DiVincenzo from the corner. And we know that Dante can do that.
Yeah, and the ball movement. Look how far the ball traveled from the right side of the floor back to the far left corner.
Butler short on that runner, which, similar to Tyrese Maxey, that's kind of one of his go-to shots, and he has it down most of the time. The runner, the floater, the teardrop from Jared Butler. Edwards showing off the handle, Grimes all over him. Reed from just inside the logo, bricks that three.
Yeah, not a great offensive exchange there for the Timberwolves. Stagnant and wind up letting something go that they probably would want back.
Walker, top of the key. That one's too strong. DiVincenzo tracks it down. So the Sixers 3 of 15 from three. The Wolves only one better. They're 4 of 16 from beyond. Both teams shooting just under 42%. So it has not been the most beautiful offensive game thus far. Reed fakes it, then trying to get it to McDaniels, and Yabu taps it away. Gershon right down Broad Street. Excellent all season.
Yeah, and especially as you change ends quickly, you come into the front. His left wing gave it to him and allowed him to get to the cup.
So Yabu Sandler leading the Sixers. He's got 9 and leading all scorers. Edwards and DiVincenzo have 8 apiece for the Timberwolves. Good effort by Bagley, but Reed powers it up and in.
Not really sure where to go.
But Jafino fakes to his right, then heads left. Butler with 7. Tried to whip a pass over to Bagley. DiVincenzo read it.
Telegraphed that one.
Yep. And even Nick Nurse, very good friends, have coached on each other's international teams. Finch was the head coach of Great Britain. Nick was an assistant. Nick head coach in Toronto. Chris was an assistant. And now head coaches for both of them here in South Philly tonight. 5 on the shot clock. Man, this defense from Minnesota, hard to break down. But Jafino, too strong. The RAV 4 minutes to play, brought to you by Toyota. Visit Toyota.com to find your 2025 RAV. Right that ship here in the second.
Yeah, you're already playing without a Dem. You can ill afford to lose.
Just because it was a career high for a rookie. But all the more for a 5th consecutive game as Reed splits the free throws. And the only rookies the last 25 years to do that in 6 straight games. Karl-Anthony Towns, former T-Wolf, Yao Ming, and Victor Wembanyama. So hopefully Adem gets a lot of run in the second half, can go after that. He's done it in 5 straight. This is Lonnie Walker, the 4th. The step back, oh, that was pretty from Lonnie.
Got the defense, Lonnie, so he let it fly.
44-37, Sixers still within striking distance here as we approach the 3-minute mark in this second quarter. Bagley the steal. Walker, good fake, good Jafino from the corner. Just before we stepped away. McDaniels. And Gobert there for another putback, and that's second chance opportunities.
Well, just look at the lack of length that the Sixers have out there right now. I mean, they are completely undersized. Yabusele's the biggest guy.
Wilson High School out in West Lawn. Played college basketball at Franklin and Marshall. Mike Conley, when Jim Lynam was a head coach of the Sixers. So Chris was mopping the floor and watching Charles Barkley and others play for the Sixers as Jared Butler makes it a 1-point game.
Defense to stay with them, unable to keep up.
Anthony Edwards out from 3 for the first quarter and a half. Both. He's got 10 now, leading the way for the T-Wolves. Jared Butler and Gershon Stanley with 9 apiece for the Sixers. Night to go along with his 9 points. But Jafino, Butler with a catch and shoots. And look at Bagley sneaking.
Never assuming that they're all makes. That's how you get offensive rebounds. Nice crash.
Again, there's that great effort that Nick Nurse was talking about. Earning Marcus his second 10-day earlier today. 48-47 Minnesota. Randall has it not heard. Getting some word during the halftime break. Unfortunately, Justin Edwards out for the rest of tonight with a rib contusion. As Quentin Grimes are going to have to find their offense elsewhere. Rookie Justin Edwards unavailable for the rest of tonight's game.
Maybe the Sixers will catch a break next season, because it certainly hasn't been this season.
Yeah, amen to that. Anthony Edwards.
He and his teammates trying to attack.
Roussel blocked by Gobert. The two Frenchmen had fun going end-to-end the last couple of possessions of the first half. Gobert gets the best of Yabu there. Edwards can't connect to the defensive end. Again, the Sixers shooting well, 50% from the floor, 7 of 21 from 3. It's just those second chance points. 12-2 right now, plus 10 are the Timberwolves in that category. Walker short. This is Julius Randle.
His teammates trying to get Rudy to run the floor.
Randle hits the floater.
Clean.
Randle with 9 now. Jared Butler had a good first half. 9 to Jared's name, along with the 11 for Gershon Yabusele. And this guy, Walker, putting Randle in. Free throw, though. So just 2 more for Lonnie. He's got 13, leading the way for the Sixers tonight. Edwards with 15, Gobert 11. Those are your leading scores for Minnesota. 59-56, Timberwolves in front. Like the foul stands, and we play on. Conley almost lost it. McDaniels too strong on the floater. Grimes picks up the floorboard, and Gobert's still down in the backcourt, so the Sixers win numbers.
Attack. He's not there to block shots either.
He finally gets back into the play. Sixers unable to take advantage of his absence.
Why would you wait for your opponent to reload?
Butler, cross courts, Walker, off front iron. Randall picks it up. As you mentioned, the Timberwolves will run, and Randall's here for Randall here in Minnesota. It was a part trade that brought Dante DiVincenzo to the Timberwolves as well. And struggles at the beginning of the season, understandably for everybody, getting used to their new roles, their new teammates, but Minnesota really has found something since March 1st. Grimes turning the corner, off the window for 2.
His cue.
And speaking of finding his footing with his new team, Quentin Grimes has definitely done that here with the Sixers. Conley the sidestep 3, and Mike Conley connects.
When they're knocking down shots, they are very difficult, because they can defend really well on the other end as well.
Grimes, Yabusele, backing down Randall, spinning back to his left. No whistle, Bona picks it up and can't finish. Well, after a career night Thursday against Milwaukee, it's been a frustrating Saturday so far for the rookie of Dem Bona. Walker to beat Conley, and Lonnie lays it up and in.
Path that the Timberwolves have taken, trying to attack.
Lonnie's having a good night, 15 and counting. Another turnover. Jared Butler lays it up and in. 3 Timberwolves in double figures as well, led by the 15 from Anthony Edwards. Randall looking to get it to him, unable to do so. Conley, step back 3. That one's shorts. Bouncing around underneath. To a Dem Bona it goes. Jared Butler with 1-3 to his name so far tonight. Gets it back from Bona. Jared, the floater, and there it is.
Scraping by somehow, right? Not the most. Oh.
3rd on cue. Edwards, what a spin and finish from Anthony Edwards.
Territory with that drop step. Took the defender one way, and there's no chance of any help on that play.
Butler keeps it himself. The lefty scoop and score for Jared Butler.
We saw him with a similar play where he kept it all right in the first half. He's showing you the ambidextrousness of his game.
Gobert floats it up and in. what you did there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was worried if I was going to get to the end of that. It's a lot of syllables.
Gave you the space. You crushed it. Fist bump. That was nicely done. Here's Walker with Edwards on him. Walker lost it. McDaniels. 3 years old is Anthony Edwards. Got our Tyrese Maxey. Gobert knocks it away. A lot of young, incredible talents here in the NBA. Reed, the driving kid. DiVincenzo off the heel. 69-66 Minnesota. 5:40 to go in this third quarter. 4 games to go in the Sixers season after this one tonight. 2 on the road and then 2 at home next weekend here at the Wells Fargo Center. Butler has to get it up. Loose ball grabbed by Bono and dunked down by a
Loose ball wound up in a Dem's hands. Gobert out of the play and unable to have an effect.
First bucket tonight for Bono. Butler the steal. Great hands by Jared. Sneaks it ahead to Grimes. Quentin Grimes!
Soft, or you lay that up, he's going to block that. So you got to turn that over, leave no doubt.
And the Sixers have taken the 70-69 lead, courtesy of Quentin Grimes. Good hands his case to be a part of this team next season. Sixers on a 12-4 run. Jared's been a big part of it. Was looking for a Dem on the oop. Gobert disrupted it. And now Rudy pushing. 11 rebounds tonight, 1 for 2 from the line so far. The Keepers taking their first lead since the 8:30 mark of the first quarter. Gobert hits the first free throw, ties us at 70. And gives
A little bit more pressure from the defense. Expect them to ratchet it up a level or 2.
foul on the Timberwolves.
Me of 90s basketball.
Didn't it? Reed has 7 points for the Wolves tonight and a kick consistency before the game tonight. Lonnie Walker has 15 tonight too. Over to Yabu. Keeps it himself. And Yabu.
Possible he passed it or fake passed it to the corner. Wow.
And Edwards electric on the other end.
Just gets up so high.
Butler off the window, no, and Randall the rebound with around 4 minutes to play. Has gotten exciting, and it's brought to you by Toyota. Visit Toyota.com to find your 2025 RAV4 Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Reed from way outside, off front iron. Pace picking up here as this third quarter winds down. Gershon lost his footing, gets back up, ready for it now. 73-72 Minnesota.
Gotta go.
5. Lonnie sees it, and he's fouled. As Walker pushed 5 games with the Sixers on his first 10-day, and signed to another 10-day today. Lonnie hits them both, gives the Sixers the 74-73 lead. DiVincenzo takes it right back for the Timberwolves.
The down screen, Dante coming off, ready to shoot. Quick hitting play from the Timberwolves.
Dante 3 for 6 from beyond tonight. What a pass from Hoodship. Sixers, Colin Castleton just before we stepped away. Played 20 games with the Grizzlies and the Toronto Raptors this season and had one of his best games against the Sixers in March up in Toronto.
Are you saying that there's
On Quentin Grimes. That's why we were focusing on him, chatting with Evan Scott. Not just in 74 Minnesota. Again, every game matters right now for the Timberwolves. They're fighting for that 6th spot in the West. They have it right now, but they are tied record-wise with the Clippers and the Grizzlies. Quentin Grimes from the wing, thought he was fouled, no whistle.
You may have touched on it earlier, but there's a bunch of teams bundled up out west within just a couple of games of one another.
Randall the spin, the kick. The Clippers and the Grizzlies both playing tonight as well. Minnesota has won their last 4. Again, made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals last season. Could Shafino no? Castleton, the offensive rebound and the putback.
I think he wanted vociferously claiming an N1.
We heard that one all the way up here.
Yep.
Like the passion. Nikola Jokic, of course, with a career-high 61 points.
Yep.
140-139 in double overtime. Potentially a preview of a big Western Conference playoff series this year.
You might be right, Carter.
About 20 to go, third quarter. Grimes with the rookie clock on him. Grimes, a tough two, doesn't go, but Bagley there for the putback, and they're percent from the floor. Neither team is shooting well from beyond the arc tonight, but both teams doing better inside. Just
Action, they draw something up. Chris Finch's team comes out and executes it.
T-Wolves also plus 13 in free throws, Ala. Pucciafino with the fadeaway.
Well, they had a...
Just 5 of 9 from the line. Reed way off on the step back. Grimes with 11. Walker the handoff to Grimes. Side set three is good for Quentin Grimes, and the
Able to go one-on-one with no help coming.
Sixers now 8 for 25, 32% from three. Edwards off the mark. Good rebound by Castleton. Dan had those career-high 14 rebounds as a member of the Raptors against the Sixers, so we know that Colin Castleton can rebound. Grimes saves by nice hands from Pucciafino. Around the Castleton screen. Jalen at Gobert. Gobert the rebound.
Good block out by Reed to make sure Castleton didn't come up with another offensive board.
Came in with his eyes on it, didn't he? Conley, the scoop and score.
Happy to allow you to come in when you're trailing. Try to break contact and meet him on the other side of that screen.
Yeah, always smooth, always under control. Grimes can't connect on that three. Here's the vet now. Spent a year at Ohio State. Spent his last 18 years here in the NBA. A travel, though. Wolves tonight, which have thus far led to 26er points. This was a trouble spot for Minnesota when we saw them in Minnesota in early March as well. Gobert on Pucciafino once again. Jalen past him. Lonnie Walker, the catch and shoot from the corner. Around and out. Good ball movement, though, from the Sixers. 23 assists on 37 made field goals tonight for the guys in red, white, and blue. Edwards creates some space.
Has come a long way since entering the league out of Athens, Georgia.
And that means he has 300 made threes on the season. Grimes can't get it to go.
Just 900 points just in that department.
And just the fourth or fifth, depending if Beasley has done it as well, as he's in a season before tonight. And now Anthony Edwards and Malik Beasley joining them. Edwards and company focus, more importantly, though, on the win as Yabu gets tied up. Colin Castleton off the heel.
Gobert.
Lonnie Walker, tough turnaround on the corner. And Gobert up for another rebound. 14th rebound tonight for Rudy to go along with his 15 points. Bagley. Trying to slow down Conley. Everybody trying to slow down this guy. Edwards has 27 now. Going to work on Castleton.
Do with it because the defender was draped all over him.
We'll take it. Walker looking for 20 tonight. Pucciafino using the Castleton's screen. Shot clock winding down. Castleton off the window, no. Bagley crashing again. He can't get it to go either. 93-87. Bagley pokes it away. Edwards, good defense by the Sixers. Reed turns it over. Alexander Walker takes it back. Conley kicking out to Reed. That one's well short. Walker the rebound. In 4 minutes since the Sixers had a bucket on him.
Reed more than capable of knocking down those threes as we've seen in the past.
Yeah, just not tonight. 0 for 5 from beyond. Gobert coming over to close the gap. Yabusele up to Bagley. Bagley off the mark from way outside, so the drought continues. They've been stuck on 87 for almost 5 minutes. Similar to the end in Minnesota, flashing back to early March, a 10-0 run. Edwards no, Gobert the rebounds.
76ers, especially Bagley.
14 second chance points for Gobert and company, and Rudy with a big swat on this end. Edwards block for Rudy tonight. Eastern Conference, as we mentioned, just 2 games separating the 3rd through 8 seeds right now in the West. So Edwards with 29, his T-Wolves now with a 10-point lead. Sixers 0 for their last 8. Wolves so aggressive on defense. Butler, they fade away. That one doesn't go. Bona.
With the official not trying to hear any of it, just telling Rudy to get back on the other end.
Sixers trim the lead to single digits once again. Randall. Gobert, another putback. 16.
Gobert, 19 points, 18 rebounds.
Yeah, he scored at least 6, maybe 8 of those second chance points for Minnesota. Butler keeps it himself high off the window. Oh, we mentioned as Jared playing a lot more minutes than he has the majority, and looking to make a home here in South Philly if he can.
I was always told you had to be in those tubs for at least 6 minutes, a minimum. Those 6 minutes feel like an eternity.
They do.
My goodness.
Yeah, I only cold tubs a couple of times in my athletic career, and yeah, I agree with you. Gobert can't get it to go. The shot altered by Adem, but it bounces out to Edwards. Off the mark there, Gobert, another offensive rebound.
Has Rudy. That's his 20th rebound, excuse me, 19th rebound of the night.
And his 8th offensive olive. Grimes, C-Sports Philadelphia Plus tonight, so 2 places to watch. You can flip back and forth if you want to. Appreciate all of you joining us tonight here on NBC 10. 101-90, Minnesota in front of the Sixers. Gershon, full head of steam, and the floater goes for the Frenchman.
Nice little 2-man, so he knew he had Gershon along that baseline, left it for him.
17 and counting tonight for Gershon. We're at 4 minutes to play as Bona blocks Randall. Randall gets it back.
He's Randall to the line.
That is number 5 on it. Oh, he teased us with the bounce. Sorry, guys, I
So
know.
close.
I know. Randall with space. Fades away and hits the mid.
Stop action to go to Julius. Julius delivers for him and his Wolves.
Yabu 17, Grimes was 17, Butler was 16. Everybody contributing tonight for the Sixers. Grimes, the sidestep, make it!
As a defender.
In his 24 games as a Sixer, he's averaged 22 on 49% shooting. Grimes has been tremendous since the trade. Randall stood up by Bona. Adem's playing with those 5 fouls. Great defense by Adem Bona.
Job of not fouling, forcing the tough shot.
Grimes looking for more off the Bona screen. Over Rudy Gobert.
Post.
Teammates loving it. This building alive. 104-101. Grimes with 3 straight threes. Randall sheds his defender. Grimes. McDaniels can't connect from outside. Gershon is tonight.
Yeah, there's no column for moral victories in the NBA. It is either a win or a loss, but we like to see the effort.
Yep, and the Sixers giving us that once again tonight. Wolves needing every win the rest of the way to stay ahead of the Grizzlies and Clippers, who have the same record as they do. Gobert asking for it underneath. Teammates couldn't get it to him. Randall the driving kick. Conley, Yabusele on him. Shot clock at 4. Edwards from the top of the key, and Anthony Edwards comes up clutch.
Ability of Conley.
Grimes driving. Can't fit. And 2 now on the season and counting for this guy. A minute to go. Edwards off the window. Edwards.
When his team needs it, little isolation on that right wing.
He was clutch in the fourth quarter.
Fortunes are directly attached to him and what he does.
Some full court pressure from the Sixers, trying to get a turnover here. Bona does. Grimes with the jam. And it comes to Edwards. Don't foul. Don't foul. Trying to get the steal. Gobert behind the defense and the jam.
As soon as they get it past half court, they've got a numbers advantage. The Sixers like overloading.
Grimes, another three for Quentin Grimes. Corners for Grimes. Randall and company break the press. Ooh, Grimes almost had the steal. Still going for it. Couple of former Knicks. Alexander Walker as the crowd rises to its feet. Edwards to Randall. He lost it, but he gets it back. And 2 timeouts. Conley to inbound. And he will use.
They could have time for a pass or two or a dribble drive.
Sixers would need the rebound and then call that timeout. Edwards doubles. Got to get a shot off. He does. And he hit. Sixers with 7 seconds to go. Yabusele over Edwards. And that will do it. A thrilling finish goes to the visitors.